on the game and follow up with questions for all. Coach?
Sure. This game is interesting, might be the word I'd use. You feel like we got it. And then all of a sudden, in a moment's notice, it changes at the end. And that's tough. It is, because I was proud of our guys, to play well. And then all of a sudden, Furman, who, congratulations to them, they're a terrific team. And they played well, and they threw that zone on us, and we struggled a little bit. And then the guys, we got ourselves situated. The guys did a great job of retaking the lead, which is very difficult to do. So I was proud of how they played. And then the pass at the end, we missed a front end of a bonus. We missed made 1 out of 2. So there were some free throws that could have salted that away. And, I'll have to see on tape how it all played out. But, again, it's that feeling of it's there. I think we're going on to the second round, or the whatever round we call it now, and then it's gone. And that's a gut punch. But you get to choose how you respond, and over time, it'll all be okay. I know that. But I feel for the guys and the staff, but certainly respect the job that Furman did. Very good team, and classy program, classy coach.
Front.
Yeah, hey, Tony, Gene Wong with the Washington Post. What do you say to Kihei? Someone who's meant so much to the program after how it unfolded at the end of the game.
Yeah, I've loved coaching him in his career. I mean, he had the most amazing assist to get us to a Final Four. We would not be in this spot without him, all the success. And he's had an unbelievable career. And, you always look to that last moment, and there's so many what ifs, and you can, who knows. But in time, that will fade. And what he's done, what he's meant. And like I said, I love coaching him and these guys. So I feel for all these guys, feel for us, but it's just a hard way to end. But also there's a whole lot of good when you look at the whole picture.
Front row.
Tony, what went into the decision not to call a timeout when that trap came on there?
Yeah, they were down there. We should, I didn't think either get tied up, call a timeout in the dribble. And I don't know if the refs were near me. We were just running, and I don't know if Kihei, thought no one was there, the clock was running out, I'm not sure, but we should have called the timeout, or we could have gotten a tie-up. We had it, and it unfolded. I think had he gotten tied up, he would have called the timeout in there, and again, I have to see how it played out.
Isaac, when you got fouled with 35 seconds left, you ended up passing to Caden, I think, as you were getting fouled. Did you think at all about going up with the shot at the...
yeah, maybe, but I just saw the help defense coming, so I just dropped it off to Caden. It was kind of a bang-bang play, but, it is what it is.
Additional questions right here in the front.
It's now been 4 years since that national championship. How do you kind of convey, all right, you guys have had this heartbreak in the first round. How do you kind of convey that's not necessarily a byproduct of the system, and that this isn't necessarily something that's going to continue?
Yeah, you just keep working. I think the guys had a terrific year this year, being co-champs in the ACC, got to the championship game of the conference tournament, and felt like we had this, and certainly lost. The last time we were in the tournament, we had the COVID deal, and we got one practice. We had a key injury, so I can make situations why it's been tough, but we've lost in the first round, and that is, as he said, it is what it is, but it doesn't take away from what these guys have done and what we've experienced over the years. But you wanted it when you felt like you had it, and that was a tough one. And but grateful to coach them, and keep building, keep trusting, and you got a choice how you respond, and I will choose to respond the right way.
Second row.
Tony, the final shot aside, were you worried as the game went on about the disparity in three-pointers made between the two teams?
Yeah,
it ended up being 10-2, but even
right
before that, it was 9-2.
Isaac made a couple where those were our only 2 threes, and you got to stick some of those shots or hit some of those free throws in that game, and they can shoot. We knew that. You look at their stats, and they're a veteran team, and like I said, the parity in college basketball, why those guys came back to get this opportunity is real. But sometimes it comes down to again, a free throw made or one more three, or just is so subtle in an ending like that. And that was very improbable how it ended. But, we got a couple good looks that went in and out. And, but I thought we battled to get that lead back. That's what I thought, okay, we got it back in good, tough play, and thought we were going to be playing on Saturday, but we're not.
Front row.
Yeah, Kip Coons, Press Box View. Tony, what went into your decision to start Caden Shedrick today, and how, your evaluation of how he responded?
Yeah, I thought he played terrific. They're mobile. They're a 5-out team, and their 5-man can shoot. We've been going with Francisco because of the physicality of whether it was, Carolina or Clemson in those 2 games, and Duke. But we said, okay, this guy's a little more mobile, so we're going to have to go with mobility at the 5, and he gave us some good rim protection. And at times we went with Jaden at the 5. We went with 4 guards because there's not really anyone in our league that's quite like them. So again, that's why we went that way. And I thought Caden, really responded, stuck his free throws and played good, tough basketball. So I was happy for him and proud of him.
Front row.
Hey, Reese, you guys were up 12 from midway through the second half, and Furman started coming back. What were they doing? Was it just hitting shots, or were there defensive breakdowns? How would you assess that?
Yeah, I feel like the zone kind of slowed us down a little bit, took us out of rhythm. So that was, I feel like it was a turning point in the game for them, and they executed that pretty well. So, yeah.
Additional questions? Back row, please.
David Teal, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Tony, right here, Tony, I'm sorry.
Right, there you are, David, sorry.
Had they shown any zone at all on tape as you scouted
I think
them?
0.6% on synergy or whatever. So, and that's always, that was a good, the 1-3-1. And I think we saw it one time, maybe it was, I don't know if it was Old Dominion early, watching that was an early game in Charleston they did, but not hardly at all. And again, because we were struggling to shoot and I think our offense was really cooking, that sort of stood us up, and we tried a couple different attacks, and then we settled in, and then we started getting some easy ones. So that's, like I said, it took a little while, but then I was pleased how our guys started attacking it, because that's hard. The game was right there. You felt the lead, and then they got back to it, but the initial answer is a small amount just back then, so that wasn't.
And then the sequence with 2.2 seconds left, you call the timeout, and then you draw it up.
Yep.
Did it unfold just as you would have hoped?
We had 2 options, actually. One was for Reese coming off to get 2 dribbles, and I think you might have board rim. I don't know if it, you got to look. Or if it wasn't him wrapped, we had Isaac coming to, try to get 2 dribbles and get it down there. But, that's tough in that spot. And it was, a little bit, you're kind of shell shocked, but you say, hey, let's try to get a shot on the rim, and we got that.
2 minutes remaining. Row 3, please.
Tony, Mike Barber, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Sorry if you've already gone through this, but Kihei, I don't know how many times other coaches have talked about the winning plays he makes. For you personally, just to see him have a mistake like that late in such a big stage, just kind of what are your feelings for him and what he's done?
I told you at the start of it how much I love coaching him and how much of a warrior he is, and his story is unbelievable, and this adds another chapter to it, and he can handle it. We can handle this, and that's sometimes things happen, and again, I've said this, you get to choose how you respond, but I feel that it happened and played out like that for someone who's been so good for this program. But that's the madness of this tournament. You've seen it. We've lived both sides of it, and that's a hard way to go. But in time, you're frustrated, and then all that stuff goes in time. You'll appreciate things, and it'll shape him. And again, you always got to have a real perspective of what's going on. But again, proud of him, love coaching him, and we'll all struggle through it. Then your head will be up, and you'll move on.
Back row.
Yeah, Preston Willett, CBS 19. Isaac and Reese, you guys haven't had a lot of experience at this stage. Just what do you take away from just kind of getting here and seeing this, and possibly with another year to go?
I'll just say the little things, how crucial they can be to play out in these type of games. This game came down to the last play, and it was just a lot of little things early in the game that could have changed that outcome. So just being in those moments and these situations is good experience for me and Isaac. So we'll just take that going into next year.
Yeah, I would just say, everybody at this level is good. I know there's the seeding and all that, but everybody can beat everybody, as obviously you've seen. But I'm just thankful for the opportunity. A lot of people would die to play in March Madness. So, I'm just really thankful for that, and hopefully I'll be back next year.
Final question from the back.
Tony, in that vein about Kihei, would it surprise you to know that when we went in the locker room, number one, he sat there and answered all the questions, and number two, when we first approached, he was watching the play on his phone to see what he could have done differently?
Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me. As I said, you celebrate his career, and again, this is part of the game. I've used this line before, but when you step between the lines, you take the good, and you take the hard with it, and you try to handle them both with dignity and respect, and he'll do that. And again, would we be in this spot without him? Nope. So here we are, and I'm grateful for him.
Thank you, gentlemen.